wonderful ukulele in the background. So links to all the articles I'm discussing will be in the show notes as per usual. So let's get going. Cheers to Netflix for announcing that Danny Masterson will not be returning to the ranch when it resumes shooting in early 2018 amid his induction into the Creep Club. That's right, Masterson, probably best known for his turn as Hyde on That 70s Show, is currently under investigation for the alleged rape of 4 women in the early 2000s, back when he was, relevant. And Netflix announced this week through a spokesman that, quote, as a result of ongoing discussions, Netflix and the producers have written Danny out of the ranch. Yesterday was his last day on the show. Production will resume in early 2018 without him. So, Masterson is a member of the Church of Scientology, which some folks say has been known to cover for its members when stuff like this happens, allegedly. Allegedly. So it's heartening to see Netflix eventually do the right thing, like they did with Kevin Spacey. So Jeers! Also to Netflix. And honestly, if this wasn't so depressing, it would be kind of funny. In a news report by the Huffington Post prior to Masterson being ousted from the ranch, Andy Yateman, Netflix's director of global kids content, was quoted as saying that Netflix didn't believe Masterson's accusers. To one of Masterson's accusers. Seriously. So Yateman is the head coach of a soccer team for 8 to 9-year-old girls, and his team was playing the team of the accuser's daughter. Quoting from the HuffPo piece, where the accuser is known as Victim B, she, quote, approached Yateman and asked him if he worked at Netflix. She says that he answered in the affirmative. Victim B then asked Yateman why Netflix was not taking action against Masterson in light of the district attorney's investigation and multiple accusations of rape. According to Victim B and another witness, Yateman said Netflix takes sexual misconduct allegations seriously, but that we don't believe them, referring to Masterson's 4 accusers. Victim B told HuffPost that she never expected Yateman to say such a thing, and she was left stunned. She then told him, I'm one of them, indicating that she was one of Masterson's accusers. The conversation ended quickly. And how? Netflix's statement on the matter, quote, while he was coaching a youth soccer match today, Mr. Yateman, a Netflix kids programming executive, was approached by a stranger who did not identify herself or explain her connection to Danny Masterson. Mr. Yateman's comments were careless, uninformed, and do not represent the views of the company. Further, he would have no insights into decision-making on the ranch. We are aware of the allegations against Danny Masterson, and we are following the current investigation, and will respond if developments occur. I think the only development is that you got caught with your pants down, Netflix. There's no way that an executive would be brazen enough to say, we don't believe the accusers to a complete stranger, unless that's the way the wind was blowing at Netflix HQ. Get your fucking house in order. Moving on. Cheers to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now, fair warning here, this next section is going to contain some spoilers. So if you're not into that, you've been warned, Jessica Burns. Good? Okay. On the 99th episode of the show, which aired last Tuesday night, Detective Rosa Diaz, portrayed by Stephanie Beatriz, came out as bisexual. Beatriz herself indicated that she wasn't heterosexual, and is naturally excited about seeing this level of representation, not just on television show that she's on, but also with the character that she gets to portray. So here's why I think this is great. The world of Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a really well developed from a representation point of view as it is. The show is set in a Brooklyn police department, and the cast is representative of what you'd actually expect to see in that environment. You got the old guard white cops and Hitchcock and Scully. You got black men in positions of power and Terry and Holt. You've got Rosa and Amy, Latina women, and you've got Andy Samberg. It feels like New York. Nobody feels token. Furthermore, this is the second LGBT character on the show, and much like Holt, it actually doesn't feel out of place, nor is anyone actually a stereotype. It all feels really natural. Finally, while I'm straight, my girlfriend isn't, and the pure joy that she experienced from this news was amazing. So congratulations on continuing to be my favorite show currently on TV, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You guys are fantastic. Okay, finally, Jeers. to the Nova Scotia pot plan. So this past week, Nova Scotia, the province that I call home, released its plan for distribution of legalized marijuana when the federal legislation comes into effect next year, legalizing pot and almost certainly ensuring Snoop Dogg's citizenship application. Now, I want to say that I don't think all of this proposed plan is awful, but I definitely don't think that it's perfect. Just to give you a quick rundown of things, legal possession here will be from the age of 19, much like it is for alcohol. Adults are going to be allowed to possess up to 30 grams of cannabis, which is in line with federal legislation. Legal age of 19 applies to possession as well as purchase and consumption. People under the age of 19 will not be allowed to purchase or possess any pot. Youth found with less than 5 grams will be subject to the seizure of the cannabis, notification of parents or guardians, fines similar to those for underage possession of alcohol or tobacco. Distribution. It's going to be sold through the Nova Scotia Liquor Corporation, NSLC. If you live outside of Canada, basically this is where we can go and buy booze. We don't have it at the corner store and the grocery store. It's its own separate store. Basically, the NSLC has the experience, according to the province, and the expertise to distribute and sell restricted products. I think, broadly speaking, this is a good plan. The problem that I have with it is that there's no room for local businesses to sell in dispensaries, things of that nature. There's no specialized pot store. Also, there's no money for those communities that have been decimated by the bullshit war on drugs that we've had for all these years. The Nova Scotia government is saying that they plan to make additional announcements about the legalization of pot as decisions are finalized. They're going to review the feedback they receive through its consultations and develop the plan and strategy going forward. Basically, that this isn't an immutable plan. It can change. I hope that it does, because I think that there are areas for improvement in this. Like I said, it's not awful. It's not wholesale terrible, but it could definitely be a lot better. Anyhow, that is the Cheers and Jeers section for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Couple of emails in the old letter bag this week. First of all, I got an urgent message from Western Union. From a Mr. James Udo. It says, "Dear Western Union customer, you have been awarded the sum of $250,000 by our office as one of our customers who's used Western Union in their daily business transaction. This award has been selected through the internet where your email address was indicated and notified. Please provide Mr. James Udo with the following details listed below such that your fund will be remitted to you through Western Union," which I think is fantastic because I've never used Western Union before. So I have to email Western with 2 R's, Union 2017 at outlook.com. And of course, Western Union is known for being really good about using Outlook as their email provider. What's funny is this didn't come through my spam. It went through to my main inbox, and I thought the spam filters were a little bit better than that. What actually did get caught in my spam filter was a very nice email from Mike Tanner, my good buddy. If you've been listening since the beginning, you may know that I shouted out Mike in my first episode, head of the One Red Cat media conglomerate corporation. I don't know. And host of Writing in Cars with Cats, and a good buddy. Knows a couple of great stand-up comedians, Tom Segura, Chris Porter, Kyle Kinane. Like Kyle Kinane, and I've heard good things about Segura. Haven't heard any Chris Porter, so I'll have to check those guys out. He also notes some unknown or underserved Netflix shows: Ozark, Glow, Marin, the show, not the specials, but his actual show, Minimalism Doc, Tony Robbins doc, and Stranger Than Fiction, which is not Netflix, but anybody who hasn't seen it should. Have seen Stranger Than Fiction, one of my favorite movies of all time. Really, really fantastic. He notes that anything candied is awesome, including figs. Now, dates are legit. Dates are legit, man. Said that he's really enjoying the show. It's a good mixture of comedy, dramedy, tragedy, And although sometimes he's not ready for some of the dark turns, he likes them, even though he gets briefly sad. One of the kindest things, he also had a really kind thing to say here. I'm not going to repeat it just because I'm an egomaniac, but I'm not that bad. Thank you so much, Mike. It was a really, really kind email from you. And I look forward to having you on the show soon. Hopefully we're going to have that interview soon. Speaking of interviews, next week we're going to have a guest on the show, an interview that I recorded with my good buddy, Mr. Luke Hardiman. Luke and I go back many, many years. And we're going to talk a little bit about professional wrestling. Talk about a few things there. It's a bit of a longer interview, so I cut it down a bit. But I'm looking forward to releasing it. It's a good chat between old T. Luke and I. Next few shows actually are already in the bank. So if you email into the show, I will get to you. You will get on air, but the old mailbag segment. Well, we might do some bonus episodes over the next few weeks, as I have the time to. Obviously, I wanted to make sure that I got the things in the bank that I needed to have in the bank, because we got some holidays on the go, some busy times, and you know what? I'm gonna call that a show. Hope that you enjoyed it. This show's produced by me, John Dulong, and music by Mon Plaisir. You can check them out at loyaltyfreakmusic.com. You can follow the show on Facebook, facebook.com/The John Dulong Show. You can follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram at Jibberdy, JIBERDY. Make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes or Google Play, and if you could, rate and review, as it helps get more folks listening. Another great way is to help out is to tell a friend about the show, get the word out. Of course, tune in yourself every single Monday for your weekly dose of Monday morning nonsense. I think that's everything, isn't it? Yeah. I wrote out the end of the show this time, guys. I'm not forgetting anything, right? Right. Quippy ending. So for John Dulong, I'm John Dulong. And remember, you don't need a parachute to go skydiving. You need a parachute to go skydiving twice. Thanks. It's going to be kind of weird to not record this show for a few weeks. I've got the next few already ready to go. And yeah. We're going to be waiting. It's going to be a little bit of time before I sit down in front of this microphone for sort of the regular episode. I'm sure there will be some bonus content here and there. I got to talk about something a little bit topical here and there as it comes up. I'm sure that something is going to explode. I mean, I didn't even go into fucking Al Franken on this episode, guys. Meant to stick that in the Cheers and Jeers. Just for the record, I think it's a good thing that he stepped down, but I don't want to give him too many props for doing that. It's oh, you did the right thing after doing the wrong thing consistently for many years, to the point where you're no longer a good fit to be a member of the U.S. Senate. It's a real shame. I thought he was going to be president someday. Honestly did. I mean, maybe if he joined the Republicans. If I keep on talking, it stops being a post-show bonus ramble. It starts becoming more episode. Okay, bye.